Hello guys, welcome to another another IELTS game here at Ross IELTS Academy. I'm Samson Sees.
And I'm Mehrnoosh from Ross IELTS Academy.
So we're both instructors, but we're still playing this Part 1 speaking game. Not only is it fun, we are also helping you guys deal with issues in Part 1, particularly the tips and techniques.
That's because we know that you are taking your IELTS exam in a short time and you may have problems with speaking. So this video, just like the previous video, is going to be about the speaking part.
And remember guys, before we get started, I'm just going to say like, subscribe, because it's going to help all of you talking together and discussing issues with part 1 of the IELTS speaking test, right?
And you may also want to visit our website and enroll in our wonderful bronze, silver and VIP packages, because they're going to help you to get your target score in a very short time.
They're indeed very, very helpful. So, shall we get started?
Okay.
See what's in the box? Let's begin the game.
So you go first, or I can go first?
Oh, I'd say ladies first. Please pick something.
Thank you.
Off
So
the
I'm
box.
not going to look at the topics. I just want to pick something here.
Go ahead.
Not this one.
Oh, what you got there?
Weather.
Weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Yep.
You like to talk about the weather? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll ask you questions about the weather. So,
Okay, so you can have the paper
Right.
and the pen if you want to write anything.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Part 1 IELTS speaking questions and answers. Here we go. Question number 1. What's the weather like today?
Today the weather, as we are in a spring season, today the weather is sunny and the sun is shining like from the morning. And I can say this is not my favorite weather, neither the hot sunny weather nor the spring.
Oh, okay. So, what's your favorite weather?
To answer your question, I can say that I do love rainy and snowy weather, because in the rainy weather I become more practical. Like I can run my errands so easily, and I also, you may not believe me, but I love walking under torrential rains and like to look at the sky when there are heavy clouds there. This is something that I really enjoy.
Amazing. So, does the weather ever affect the way you feel?
It does. As I just mentioned, whenever the weather is cloudy and I just feel a breeze in my room, I can focus on my study, my work, or whatever I'm doing much better. So yes, but as soon as the weather gets sunny and hot, I don't feel like doing anything. Yeah, that's how the weather affects my mood.
Ooh, so it's all over. You can relax. I'm going to give you some feedback.
Okay,
The
let's
juicy
analyze
part.
what I
Let's
did.
analyze what Mehrnoosh did. So I was asking her questions about the weather, and the way she was answering, giving sort of relating to the question and addressing the question just so she can think about her idea is actually a very good technique. So she probably didn't have much to talk about in terms of weather, but the way she was buying herself some time and using those linking words and phrases, she came up with her idea and she eventually gave her answer. And she used complex structures, she was paraphrasing, and these are all very good techniques that will get you some good juicy marks.
Yeah, you shouldn't repeat the exact same thing that the examiner says. Instead, you can paraphrase some words.
And you did that especially in the last question, because even though you answered that last question in the previous question, you were paraphrasing just so you could answer this one.
Yes, you shouldn't stop. Even if you don't have an answer to the question, you can just buy some time, use some boosters, and elaborate on your answers.
You also very natural and coherent. It was like having a normal conversation with somebody, which is something the examiner really wants to see.
Before we get started.
Oh, her special tips.
I always have tips, right?
Mehrnoosh always has tips. All right, tell me.
Yeah. You should know some things about the second part in IELTS speaking. The first thing is that this part is not going to be long. So, as you may remember, part 1 took us like between 4 to 5 minutes, but this part is like...
It's only 3 minutes altogether.
2 to 3 minutes, so it's not longer than that.
1 minute for making notes and then 2 minutes for speaking about
Yeah,
the topic.
so the examiner will give you a paper and a pencil, and you can just have your cue card with some bullet points. You can think about the topic and make notes for 1 minute, and then you should talk about the topic for
up to 2 minutes, no less than 2 minutes, guys.
cover your 2 minutes, cover all the bullet points, sound natural, be confident, and use a range of structures and vocabulary, but it's not complicated at all.
You can lie, you can go off topic if you have to. Just
Yes.
address the question.
We are going to do all these things,
We're going to
apply the
apply them
techniques,
all.
and you'll learn how to do that.
Sure will. All right, let's get started. I can't wait.
Okay, do you want to go first?
If I have to, if I must. It's usually ladies first, but Mehrnoosh implies that
You can go first this time.
I'm going to go first this time. All right, I'm going to randomly pick one of these envelopes. Got one. Okay. What do we have here? Okay, do you want to read that out?
Okay, yep.
I think it's my topic.
Yes, describe a school which you went to. Would you like to talk about it, Samson?
Yes, okay, I'll talk about it.
Okay, so here is your cue card.
Thank you very
and
much.
you have some bullet points on the other side.
All right,
You will have a paper here.
thank you very much.
You can take notes. Here you are. I have my paper because I
Alright.
want to analyze what he does. And as you guys might remember, there is one rule to this game. But as you may remember, there is one rule to this game. And what was the rule, Samson?
Oh yes, I forgot the rules of this game. I just remembered. Thanks for reminding me. If I skip a topic and reject it, Mehrnoosh will give me a penalty, a forfeit. So that would be a personal question or something else I'm not familiar with.
But he didn't give me the chance to ask him that personal question.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you might have commented so many personal questions that you would like him to ask me, you would like me to ask him. But yeah, I didn't get the chance.
You never
Maybe
got the chance.
the
Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
So yeah, we can just start
Go
with
ahead.
the test. You will have now 1 minute to think about the topic, make notes, and after that you should talk about the topic for 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll be doing the 2
Now-
minutes for speaking. Just work with me here. Get a pencil, a pen and paper, whatever.
Yes,
and
yes.
Make
You
notes.
should have your own paper and
practice.
try to take the test with us. I mean,
Take it with
it
us.
can really help you.
It does help. Let's go.
Okay, so your 1 minute starts right now. Okay, your 1 minute is over, Samson.
Oh, wow, okay.
You can now give me the pen, thank you,
Right.
and the cue card because you cannot have it now.
Not allowed
But you
to
can
look at it.
take, just keep your points or
Okay.
the notes. And yeah, you should talk about the topic now for 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes start right now.
Okay, so I was asked about a school that I went to when I was a child. I'm going to pick my secondary school because I've got a lot to say about the secondary school I went to. It was called Southgate School. It wasn't too far from my parents' house, or our house anyway. And I used to walk to school all the time because I enjoyed the exercise. So when did I go to this school? It was back in 1997, if I remember correctly. I was about 11 years old. I personally picked this school. That's what students do in the UK. You go and visit different secondary schools, and the one that seems most fitting is the one that you choose to go to. But of course, it was very difficult to get into this school because it wasn't right by our house, so it wasn't actually in the same borough. But anyway, I still got into the school, and I was very proud to go there because I very much liked the subjects and all the facilities, particularly the drama room, the music rooms, and all the pianos, as I played piano personally. I've been playing since I was a small boy. I went to this school for about 6 years, if I remember correctly, and I stayed there to study at the college section. We call that sixth form. I very much liked the teachers at Southgate School and all the subjects that I took, particularly theatre studies and media studies. And I loved the facilities, but the one thing I did not like about it was the pupils, sadly enough, because lots of them were bullies. There were about 1,500 pupils going to this huge school, if I remember correctly. And lots of them were bullies. They were very rude. They could be racist at some points. But I had to deal with these problems, and I had to deal with a lot of beat-ups too. I was beaten up many, many times on many, many days. In fact, there were many occasions where
Okay, thank you very much. Great.
Oh, 2 minutes is over already? Gosh, I've got so much to say about that.
You were just talking about your past experiences.
I was.
Yes.
I was. That's something you guys could do, actually. If you can relate the topic, whatever you're given on the cue card, relate it to a past experience and just follow the bullet points, and I think you can just
even if you haven't had that experience, you can just fake it.
You can fake it.
For example, your friend has had a good experience,
That's right.
which is related to this cue card. You can talk about your friend's experience.
That's right. I did follow the bullet points of how many students did go to the school. I don't know if there were really 1,500 kids there. I just made a number.
How could you know?
How could I know? I was a kid back then. I was
and
amongst
it's
the
not
pupils.
important to me as an examiner, because I don't really care how many students went to that school, or I'm not going to go check if that's the correct number.
It's not a matter of being true or false. The examiner basically wants to mark you down for the 4 criteria.
Yeah, that's what we mean by not being truthful or just fake some answers, because his answer was relevant and he explained, he gave examples, so that was good.
And I try to make it interesting. That's another point, I think. It's good to keep your topic interesting. If you do that, then you have more of a chance of getting through this part in a much more soothing way. Okay.
Yeah, you can just make a good impression on the examiner. That's what Samson was trying to do. You shouldn't be like monotone and not having any eye contact with the examiner, or no body language, facial expressions. These are not part of the criteria in
But
IELTS speaking. It helps. It does help.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to go next?
I actually have something to tell you, Samson.
You do have something to tell me?
Everything was wonderful.
Okay.
Like, you used complex structures, you used a very good range of vocabulary, and some discourse markers, some paraphrasing. Like, instead of a student, you said pupil, or you had a very good use of different tenses, simple past, or like you used to.
I thought I'd get creative a little bit. If you're comfortable with the creative structures, then just go for it. If you're not, then try to tone it down.
Yes, because Samson was quite sure about what he wanted to use. He was certain what vocabulary he wanted to use, what grammatical structure.
That's right.
But you don't need to talk like us, okay? No. You don't need to be perfect. You should just cover, you should just give an answer.
So don't memorize stuff. Do something
that makes... don't all need a 9 in IELTS speaking,
no one needs
right?
a 9, exactly. Not everybody needs a 9, and also do something that feels natural. Because if you don't copy what we're doing, take the necessary techniques that you could use. If you copy and memorize stuff, then you might sound unnatural. The examiner will know. Yeah, the examiner will know. The examiner will know.
And you didn't cover the bullet points in order.
No.
It was not in order, but he managed to cover them all. And that will do.
That will do.
Yeah. And there is just one thing I should tell you. You're a native speaker. You know how to manage different topics, familiar or unfamiliar. But in my idea, you spoke a bit fast.
Too fast.
You shouldn't be very fast or very slow. Just...
See, I had a lot to say. So if you think you need to concentrate a little bit more on your structures, then take it slower. Mehrnoosh is right. I did go a little bit fast there, but
he managed to do that. But many of our candidates might not.
Some do, but not everybody. So just take it easy and tone it down. Slow down a little bit, because you're less likely to make mistakes if you're speaking a little bit slower and more controlled, but not too slow, because your intonation still has to be pretty much sounding natural.
That's right. Intonation, pronunciation matters. Accent?
Accent, Yeah, that's a very interesting point. Accent doesn't matter. Your accent is unique. What does matter is that you pronounce the words correctly, right?
That's important.
So, what you should know about part 3, guys, is that this part is not going to be long again. So it's between like 4 to 5 minutes. It's not that much. You know, you're not going to face many questions, but you should be careful and just be mindful that you should give longer answers to the questions.
Answers,
yeah.
extend them. Because this is more like a conversation between you and the examiner. It's an ongoing conversation. It goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And you'll see what it's like when we play this game.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not like part 1. You know, part 1 is kind of a warm-up, but in part 3, you can just use a range of grammatical structures, vocabulary, and show the examiner what ability you have.
Show them what you can do.
So, yes.
All right,
are you ready to start? Yeah,
okay.
sure.
So,
Should I go first, or you would go?
I would say ladies first, so why don't you go ahead?
A real gentleman, right?
Oh, I try to be a good gentleman. All right.
So we have some topics here. I'm going to pick one and randomly, and I'll give the cue card to Samson. He is going to ask me the questions, but before that, if I decide to skip a topic, what happens?
We have penalties, don't we? So if Mehrnoosh actually decides to skip a topic and she rejects it and not go for the answering the questions, then she'll have a forfeit, and I'll bombard her with a very personal question.
Yes, and it goes the same with Samson. So if he skips a cue card, a topic, then I will ask him a personal question. As many of you have commented us like the questions that you would like me to ask Samson, maybe I would choose one of those and ask him.
Oh.
Let's hope he is going to
Forfeit.
skip one.
Well, I did that last time. Look what happened to me. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
So
go into the game.
I'll go first. I pick the topic, any topic. So
Go ahead. Just any random topic.
Okay.
Just one of those envelopes will be fine.
okay, I have one.
You got one?
Food.
Oh, food.
I would love to talk about food.
Who wouldn't want to talk about food? It's a fantastic topic. Anyway, let's have fun.
Okay.
Question number 1. Do you think diet is important?
Oh, that's a very interesting question because as I remember, I have always been very careful with my diet and what I eat since I was a teenager. So I would say a balanced and healthy diet matters a lot to me. And generally speaking, it is significant to eat in moderation and include a range of nourishing meals and healthy food in your everyday diet. So yes, absolutely, that's important.
Nice. And what is a balanced diet?
That's actually a difficult question because depending on a person's weight, taste, or age, it can be different. For example, someone might have a healthy appetite and would always need a second helping. But on the other hand, another person might just be okay with a light meal. Because of those reasons, I would say that might be different for different people. But generally, a healthy diet should include a range of fruits, vegetables, and healthy food. So yeah, that's what a healthy diet should be, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Now, why do you think some people choose to be vegetarians?
Since I used to be a vegetarian for a short time, a couple of years ago, I can say that it depends on so many different reasons. For example, some people might decide to be vegetarians because of their health, because of concerns for animals, or even some religious reasons. Therefore, I would have to say maybe some other people decide to do that because they cannot afford to buy meat, fish, or chicken, or any animal products, and yeah, these can be the reasons why people can choose vegetarianism.
And one last question. Why do some people enjoy eating out?
I would say many people would love to eat in restaurants and prefer fast foods or restaurant food to home-cooked meals because they can spend a much better time in restaurants with their friends or with their family. I mean, you can just sit in the restaurant and enjoy that quality time hanging out with your friends. Besides, it gives you the chance to try and taste some new, maybe international cuisines. So yeah, it's a very fun and enjoyable experience for so many people.
Ooh, thank you very much. Well,
you're welcome.
That's the end of the part 3 questions for you for the time being, and look at the way she answered those questions. Directly referring to the questions and giving her reasons, elaborating, and it was very conversational, as you could see. How did you what kind of techniques did you feel like you...
Since this was my favorite topic, I had some collocations and words related to that. So maybe you have this good chance to talk about something you like, or sometimes maybe the topic would be unfamiliar to you, but it doesn't matter anyways. As you might have watched the previous videos, some topics I didn't feel comfortable with, but some topics maybe are easier for me to talk about. It doesn't matter. I was just trying to give an answer to the questions, and it doesn't really
look at
matter
the
if you
structures she was using
you can just keep talking.
Just keep talking. You're having a conversation with somebody. Basically, be enthusiastic, be interested. The more interested you are in the topic, like Mehrnoosh is, even if she's not familiar with the topic, which she was in this case, she kept the conversation going, and she kept using a nice wide range of vocabulary, related vocabulary.
That's right.
She showed the examiner basically what she could do using all those lovely pronunciation techniques with the vocab, all those complex words, and being very coherent and conversational.
Yeah, and you can also use a range of boosters naturally. Like for example, I try to use some, for example, it's a very difficult question to answer. Wow, that's interesting. To answer your question, I can say that I suppose you can use this only to buy time and make your conversation more natural with the examiner.
Using these boosters, and Mehrnoosh is very good at doing that. So guys, I hope you learned a lot today. And remember, like I said at the very beginning of this video, like, subscribe, and maybe write on the comments what you think. And because we'd like to hear about your ideas and how you are progressing with this whole IELTS business.
Yes, that's right. And maybe you can just visit our website to enroll in our wonderful bronze, silver, and VIP courses, because they are going to help you with your IELTS exam. You can learn all the techniques.
Very helpful.
Yes, and that would be just practical for you.
So, hope you learned something today, guys. We'll see you on the next video.
See you soon.